getting back to the roots here, a little bit of history. We're in the library, we're building this. It's some really cool stuff. We've come a long way here. We've got some technology to go over, how we used to watch film, how it's evolved. And film is obviously our lifeblood as coaches. And, this is where it started.
Yeah, that's where you break it down. I think if we look at the jersey over there and the helmet, with this viewer right here is kind of how coaches broke it down back in the day. And this is how I first started. And so you have a viewer here, and by hand, you would roll the film through the viewer and take it off, take the play off here. Now, you had to have a lot of pencils. You had to be prepared here because, you don't want to be, wasting time, going out and sharpening your pencils. So you get all loaded up here.
So you're doing a lot of drawing here as we're going through, and we're just kind of trying to get the formation as we're going on that deal, as you're spinning through that play showing up on the viewer right there for you.
That's right. I'm looking at the play, and then I'm drawing the play over here against the defense. And put the numbers in here, 85.
Right, all the details got to go
36,
for sure.
32.
So those numbers are pretty easy to see on film. I'm sure you never got any of those wrong.
Well, you're looking at the viewer here. It's kind of tight. It's kind of tight. But this is what you do. You'd run through and draw the play, run it back as many times as you needed to see until your eyes gave out. And
that's why we all need glasses now.
That would be on to the next card.
You're going frame by frame, just with the film, piece by piece, drawing on every aspect of it and trying to get as much detail as possible while also spinning this thing by hand. We're not plugging this in from this standpoint. We're just getting the light in there so you can see the play. But
the light just projects the film into this little viewer.
Yep.
That's how we broke down film. And then when we had the projectors come in, it's still using the same film. So film like this.
Yep, in the can.
That would come in the can, sure. And because teams exchanged the films.
Yep.
Right? They shipped it.
Had to protect it, right?
Yeah,
so again, we're going to give this to the old school post office now, right? And we're sending this. There's no emails, Vmail. There's none of that stuff. We're sending this, and of course, there's always the competitive advantage of did I get my film before you did, and you got mine before I did. But
Air Express, Airborne, United Air Freight, whatever it was, you shipped it, and you weren't in any hurry to get it to your competitor, your opponent that you were sending it to. That's right.
Although if you were the breakdown coach on the other side of it and you were waiting for film, you were anxious, but sometimes it was okay if the film came in a little late because you were like, I kind of need a break. This is I'm drawing. I've gone through 25 pencils. I've probably thrown a few, and now we're getting it shipped to us. So coming in the container, we got some in the can. From that aspect of it, these are great. I mean, weight room program.
Sure,
that was, we got to film all that there. The punt block technique. I bet you this one actually has got some pretty good footage on it right there.
Yeah,
you roll through the machine. So we get the film, comes in. We've done the cut-ups on this end of it from our side, and now
we go to a new level of technology.
So we're stepping in here. Another decade later, here we're taking a look at this. Coach, we're going to plug this in and see if this thing works.
Yeah. So this would project onto. Usually carried a piece of white cardboard with you, so if the walls weren't white, you could still watch it. Watch it in your hotel room, or in the meeting rooms, wherever you were, had a little screen. So you could watch it in close quarters, and then this is what would be shown to the team, and you had to make sure that it worked and the bulbs worked and everything, and this is where the next level from here to here. All right, we got power.
This thing fired up here. I'm not really sure. I know we got our cowboy clicker right here for that. Obviously, feed the film all the way through. We'd have another reel. We'd wrap it around right there. And high-tech technology here with the projector. We move into the beta world after. But there's not a lot of technology here. But what would be the most important piece of this this projector equipment right now?
The most important piece of the projector is the bulb. Without the bulb, we don't have a projector. So it was very important as the lowest man on the totem pole to carry not one but two extra bulbs, so that when it either blew out or somebody borrowed yours because they lost theirs or whatever, that you had an extra bulb or everything shut down. So without a bulb, you had nothing on that projector. That was definitely the most important thing.
Right. So as the low man on the totem pole, coaching-wise, obviously the coordinator's up there. The bulb goes out. Maybe a player hides a bulb, takes it out before the meeting because they don't want to have a meeting. You're the first person getting yelled at. Where's the bulb? I need another one. This meeting's happening whether they like it or not.
It would be the equivalent of a five-alarm fire.
Right.
Get all the trucks there, even though it's
everybody hurry up.
Yeah, even though it's a campfire, get all the trucks there to put it out.
That's right. And there'd probably be someone in the back of the room with the bulb laughing the whole time.
No doubt.
So, all right, so moving from the projector here, so I don't break all this here, Coach. So we move in really to the next phase, which, we have our beta tapes here. We got a couple different sizes of beta tapes that we used to film on. So this was really revolutionary at that point.
Yes.
We're away from this. We're kind of using beta tapes. We got VHS at one point, just like everybody had in their house. But really, these were like the TV coaches kind of quality of film that we used to watch off of.
Right,
from
so
that
the
standpoint.
coaches watched the beta tapes, but of course, nobody had beta tapes at home. So we would make copies of the beta tapes to VHS,
Right.
so that the players and coaches could take the VHS tapes home to watch them on their VHS machines. And that was a big step. That was definitely better. That was better than carrying around that projector.
Right, yeah, that thing's like heavy. Now I'd rather just give me the tape and let somebody else carry the machine around. Really a couple different sizes. These were like 40-minute, 30-minute tapes. We got the big ones. These were 90. These were better. And then we actually got, nice small cassette size ones that they could fit high quality tapes on. But, this one I thought was good. Mike Vrabel, 2005 NFL draft.
Yeah,
So
not that long ago.
We still got it. It's still good. It's durable and all that. So,
Just about the time I figured out how to work the beta tapes and the VHS and make all those systems work, what do?
yeah, we got to upgrade again. We go
I
to
know.
DVDs and computers. I mean, that's where we were, and complicate things even more.
Yeah, so now it's the fiber optics, and then it goes to, now we're in HD, and
Yeah.
there's a million buttons and a million things on the screen to deal with. There's a button for every eight other buttons that it connects to. It's tough.
Yeah, and what happens is for the younger coaches, we're trying to keep up with all the new technology. Some of the older coaches are like, I'm not learning this. You make sure to fix it if it's broke.
That's right.
Of course it broke all the time. And again, we're back to the 10-alarm fire trying to figure it out as everyone's screaming and yelling. And, the players, they enjoyed all that. I'm sure comedy from the start. But, really cool to see all the technology through the years from, where we started to kind of where we are now with the computer system.
Well, Matt, no matter how you slice it, whether you're on a viewer, whether you're on a projector, Betacam, HD, eventually you have to get the information from the screen onto some type of recording pad or computer information or whatever it is. And so we'll talk about how we pad it and what we do with the information we got off the film and how we process that. Uh-oh, Matt, the film broke.
Coach, we got a problem right now. The thing just snapped. Everyone's in pure panic mode. What are we doing?
Oh boy. Okay, well, we're gonna have to go to the splicer.
Just got some Scotch tape, and we can get this done quicker. We got the machine in there. Lay the tape down, and
Yep, we got the tape machine.
okay.
The tape goes right there.
Yep.
We
Press it.
clamp it,
Yep.
and
We're good as new.
we're taped.
We're good.
As new.
We're rolling. No
Now.
missed time.
Question is, do you want to gamble on one slice of tape, or do you want to flip it over and take the other slice?
You got to get both sides.
All right, well, let's break down our defense here and cut this up here. Cover 3, inside run.
Okay. Cover 3, inside run. All right. This is gonna go fast.
Cover 2, play action. Let's
Oh,
go.
Here we
Let's
go.
go.
Here we go.
Cover 2, play action.
Got it. I got it. We're good. Cover 2, play action. Done. I'm on top of this. Got it up on the wall. It's upside down. Okay. What do we got here?
Blitz pass.
All right. Blitz.
Yeah, we sacked him on that one.
Pass. Love it. This is a long reel. We had a good ones right there. I got smut. Now it's smudged. We can't
Cover
read
2,
it.
outside run.
Okay, cover 2. Outside run. Got it. I got to get my coding is not so good right now.
Cover 2, inside run.
Okay, cover 2. Side run. All right, got it taped on the wall.
Cover 1, pass.
Okay, cover 1 pass.
Third down.
Oh, you're not adding one on me, are you? Oh, I got to rip tape. Let's go. Keep it rolling.
Yeah, we can't stop. We can't stop.
No, we can't. Go. Go.
Cover 2, outside run.
I'm sweating. Outside run. Okay, I got him on the wall. That's horrible.
All right, so-
Smudged. We got them all mixed up. You can read it.
All right,
Okay.
so now we'll have to take those, splice them together,
Yep.
create a reel,
Yep.
so that we can go back and look at all of the cover 2 outside runs, cover 2 inside runs, look at them all together.
This would be start of our breakdown process, so we can start the game plan at this point, and put those reels together. The coaches would in and go. This is cut ups. We actually cut the film. We still use that term today, even though we have computers and we don't actually cut anything. This was crazy process. We would go through, cut all that stuff up, tape it, to the wall.
There'd be 200 plays
Yeah.
hanging from the wall.
Yeah, tough.
And if one of those pieces of tape fell down,
if you lost that there, I mean, we're scrambling, you're guessing, you're trying to figure out where it goes. I wasn't smart enough. We taped to the wall, and I would always leave a little bit, and eventually it would dry out. Or I'm sure I was always convinced one of the other coaches came by and just pulled it off just to, stress you out. And then one year I heard, one of the coaches was like, why don't you guys just use brown paper bags and put them in there? And then they never got messed up. And it was like one of those moments where like, man, why didn't I, that would have been really good. But
you got to find the front of the play. Like there, we always know.
We always knew where it was, so we could splice. You splice it backwards, all of a sudden the coach. It's a catastrophe right there.
Yeah.
But that was the origin of cut-ups. It's a term that we use all the time, and not a lot of people, I think, know how to cut film or what it actually looked like. But it would be that all over the room, and nobody opened the door.
Certainly, yeah. If anybody stepped on that film, I mean, it was.
You're done.
Yeah, you're done. Well, Matt, now that we have the information on the pads, it's time to go to work and figure out what our opponents are doing.
Yeah, that's right. So you got some cards there, Coach, that you drew those plays on. And what if we need to look at different elements of the game? How do we find all this information?
Well, all the plays are drawn up on the cards, and let's see. Let's just say we want to look at all the play action passes. We punch out the holes here that be play action pass.
Okay.
Drop the ice pick in there and
shake it out.
Shake it out. What do we have?
We got the play action pass right there,
play
Coach.
action pass.
We got our 10 X post concept right there. A little 134 probably ride action, and
so we take all the play action passes and we look at all of them together.
Put that. Yep.
All right.
Short yardage. You got any
short yardage? All right. Let's see what we have for short yardage.
Okay.
Stick that in the short yardage hole, and what do we have here?
All right. Looks like we got a 3rd and 1, 22 personnel, 34 lead. Running the ball downhill, Coach. Looks like we got our short yardage play right there, and pulling it out. All right.
So these were all this is how we did all the breakdowns at the Colts, and just happened to have the Baltimore Colts playbook.
Yeah, this is 1975, right? 1975 playbook.
75 offensive and defensive playbook here. And this is what we did.
Yeah, I love that stuff too. It's like so many of those drawings, when I look at it, I mean, it's the same stuff, right? The game doesn't really, we think it changes, but it really doesn't.
Still 11 guys.
It's still 11 guys on either side of the ball if you get your personnel right, for sure. We got to get everybody out there. So
after we did the cards, then we kind of doubled up. We got 2 plays on one sheet of paper. What's this going on?
Yeah, so this was kind of like my introduction into the league, and there's definitely a rite of passage here for all of us that padded and learned the game just like you did. You drew the game out, Coach. And, look, you took all of us, myself, Brian Dable, Josh McDaniels, we went in and we had to draw the game. We had to take the tape and go through and really came up with a good system here in the way in which we could, get 2 plays on a pad. We called these pads, and we would draw every single play in detail, what was happening. So we'd put all of our breakdown information over here, so we kind of get short yardage, we get the personnel, all that stuff over there, and then we draw the play out in detail at that point. And look, a pad. Now, if you were good at drawing pads, maybe it took you 6, 7, 8 hours to break a game. I probably went a little crazy.
That'd be humming.
That would be moving. I was probably more 12 hours trying to break a game, and we're breaking 4, during the course of a week. And, it was a lot of work. It was labor, but you learn so much football is when you did it this way, for certain. And then, we would take the pads at that point and, we had a big giant pair of scissors, and you'd slice them right down the middle.
Yep.
And we'd start doing paper cut-ups at that point. And, that way we could take these and sort them out. I think, what really happened with the pads, and we've got everybody's pads here. I know whose pads are by what year. This is actually Josh McDaniels' pad right here. That's the 2003 playoff run against the Colts, where Josh drew. I thought, he was sloppy in some of his drawings there, but he got all the information. He could pad a lot faster than I could. I know this is actually Corey Unlin when he was padding, because we started to try to color code some of the systems that we would be looking for, like P and 10, 1st and 10 within, and take all that stuff. And, Coach, I get this question all the time, and we're kind of talking about it. And, you mentioned it right from the start. It was you had to have a lot of pencils to draw. You had to have a lot of pencils. And, look, I was an engineer in school. I'm all about pencils. I was mechanical pencils, though. We had all those in school doing formulas. But, when I got to New England, because it'd take us 12 hours to pad, 10 hours to pad a game, if you had 5 minutes, you were trying to draw a play. So you always had a pencil on you. You had your pads. You were trying to draw all that stuff. And we just carried the pencils around all the time. And, you got it behind your ear. I used to wear the pencil behind my ear too. Still, we carry writing. I mean, obviously at one point I was like a walking Staples. I think at one point I had markers in the front pocket. I had dry erase pens, whatever it was, because you didn't want to be the coach asking for, hey, do you have that? You always wanted to have something. My biggest issue was you take one of these really sharp, number 2 pencils, and, we wore hoodies and mesh shorts all the time. And, you try to carry one of these in a pair of mesh shorts and sit down. Unfortunately, this is going to get you in the wrong spot. So you quickly learn to get that sharp point, not in your shorts, in a bad area down there. Let's stick it behind the ear, in a hat, somewhere where it can stay safe and out of the way.
You had all these pads and everything. Did you ever, spill a cup of coffee on them or spill a Coke on them or something like that?
Nothing worse than, certainly a cup of coffee or something spills on the table and you're literally diving across the table to save the pads, forget, bodily harm at that point. Because there's nothing worse. You'd walk in the pad, you're like, sorry, plays 8 through 10 have a coffee stain. You really can't see it. The coach, he just gets mad and throws them at you. But, I thought this was genius what you did with these pads and how you cut them up and then you'd sit there and you'd sort them all out, into the different play actions and run game. And you really you made a padded cut up that, I'd sit there and watch you. You'd put a ring binder on them and you'd flip through, all the third downs or flip through all the red area. And that's how we learned. We didn't necessarily have to have the computer all the time. And, it definitely was the pencil drawings, which, look, Ticonderoga was great. I have pencils all the time. You wear a pencil all the time.
Ticonderoga?
I mean, they send me big, giant. I mean, I wish we had, I don't know, maybe cars or something.
Is that Lee Corso's autograph?
It is, yeah. Lee Corso sent me a Ticonderoga pencil. But,
That's awesome.
It just was something, like you mentioned, we always had to draw. We always had to have something to write with. And, that's why we carried the pencils. I get it on game day, too. A lot of people, they're like, why does he have a pencil? And, he's on a laminated sheet. Well, we have marker. I had big markers in my front pocket, small ones. But you taught me a long time ago, we would always carry notebooks. We'd always have those little notepads in our pockets or our hoodies. And we're in the Northeast. When it rains or it snows, those permanent markers, they don't work when they get wet. They dry up, they're gone. And you'd be like, what always works? And you used to carry the golf pencils. You'd have the short ones. And, pencil and paper always work. So we'd be making adjustments on the sideline, writing and drawing and as we went. And, that was just kind of why we always carried it. But, these are unbelievable. This is one of those things we'd walk into a staff meeting and we'd pad 4 games. So that's about 50 hours worth of work, somewhere in that as beyond practice.
And then I'd say, Matt, you know what?
It's the worst.
I think let's take a look at that Minnesota game. Could you pad that one up for us?
No doubt. After the words, can we take a look? You're like, just say watch. Just say watch. Don't say pad. You'd say pad. I mean, there's a whole nother night's sleep. Throw it out the window. We're going to pad that thing and we're going to go. But I remember Corey Unlin, we were making our run in 04. And, in the playoffs, it gets complicated. You got either teams, either side. You're not really sure which way it's going to go. And he was all in on one team. It was the Jets. I'm not sure who they were playing. And I remember we're sitting in the office. It was a Saturday night. And he's padded one whole side. He's like, I'm 100%. This team's got to win because if they don't, there's no way I can do all this work. And as the field goal went through to end the game, he just looked at me, turned around, and just started drawing as fast as he could because he had bet the wrong side of it. And it was, it was hysterical. But that's how it would go. And we'd get these a lot of times. Everybody wanted the pads before we'd travel. And I remember one time we played Kansas City, and it seemed like we always played Kansas City early in the year and got beat. It was never good out there. And
no, there was some rough days out there.
Rough days, and we're flying home, and you've got a stack. We're cut, they're sorted, and I had done a horrible job on them. There was mistakes, and you used to go through, and you would correct all of them, and that's how we learned. It was really amazing. You would give us the notes, and hey, look at this or fix this. You must have had enough at this point. I remember you walked back to the plane, and it just the next thing I know, it's snowing in the plane. There's pads, papers everywhere, and I'm scrambling to pick them all up. But you learned how to do it right. You learned how the game worked. You really, you paid attention to the details. And honestly, I think I obviously thank you for that and how I learned the game. But I know all the guys that padded, after me, from Josh Boyer to Brian Flores, Pat Graham, Steven, Brian, like we made everybody pad, and I know they learned the game that way. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, well, we all learned it that way at one time.
Yeah.